know the one surefire way you will always win at Gambu? Just in case you're ever offered 45.59 billion won after playing Dokji with a street salesman, let's go ahead and discover the best ways to beat Squid Game. Some of the methods Ji-hun used in the game are actually the best, while others are just plain stupid. Don't swipe or click away, because here's Squid Game: how to win every game. Number 7. Dokji. We're gonna go by chronological order, so it's only fair to start with the very first game, Dokji. Now, this might not have been a life-and-death situation, but getting slapped about 100 times is not the best strategy for winning. So what should have Ji-hun done to beat the sleazy salesman? Well, let's examine the game, shall we? First, it's played with these origami-like squares. The object is to flip the opponent's square laying flat on the ground, so in order to win it, we have to know what's gonna flip the bottom square. If we take a look at Ji-hun's throw, then we can see he's holding the square upwards and tries to hit the bottom square with one of the sides of the square. If we slow the footage down, we can see that he throws the square, it only covers 1/3 of the square on the bottom. You can't flip it that way. It might seem counterintuitive, but the way to win this game is to hit the opponent's square on the ground with the flat side of your square. Ji-hun tries to hit it with the side. This is bad because in order to flip the square, the energy from your square has to transfer on to one on the ground. The best way to do this is to hit it and cover it fully. If we slow down the footage and watch the salesman, we'll see him holding the square on the side and throwing it completely flat, almost fully covering his opponent's square on the ground. Then energy transfers and slap! Number 6. Red light, green light. If you're lucky enough not to panic and start running away when you see them shooting the other players, then here's the best way to win this game. The objective of this game is to cross the line behind the doll before the timer runs out. Judging about the size of the court, we'd say this is the same size as a football field. Now, because you only have 5 minutes to cross, that means you have to be really quick. Don't waste even a single second, just get to the finish line as fast as possible. Second, don't look at the damn doll. The doll isn't important, you should only watch your feet. There will be a lot of dead bodies lying around, so be careful not to trip. Many contestants died because they didn't watch what they were doing. Thirdly, you'd need to smash that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, you'd actually need to be behind someone. This will excuse slightly moving the body because the camera will not be able to see through the person you're hiding behind. And most important of all, move along the side wall. This will get you away from the other players and no one will be able to take you down. Plus, you can use the wall to balance yourself and avoid twitching a single muscle. Across the finish line? Good. Moving on. Number 5. Dalgona. In the second game of the show, the contestants were given a sweet honeycomb token with a shape imprinted in the middle. The goal is to take out the shape in the middle without breaking the candy. You can break the outside but not the shape itself. The time? 10 minutes. First rule to winning: do not under any circumstance chip away the honeycomb. This will probably break the shape. The second rule: wet and heat the needle using your mouth. This will help you carve out around the shape easily without breaking it. If you've picked an easy shape, then you'll have no problem getting through this game. Remember, slow and steady wins the race here. If, however, you chose the umbrella, then do what Ji-hun did. Slowly carve out the top part, and then, to remove the handle, slowly carve around the shape. Once you're 90% through, a few licks on the back and you'll effortlessly remove the shape. It only takes a few licks, and don't slobber. You don't want that saliva breaking the honeycomb part. Number 4. Tug of War. Tug of War will be your next game. Finally, this is where we can talk about many different strategies, since this is a competitive sport played all around the world. But don't forget, Ji-hun's technique of beating the losing team by stepping 3 steps forward and making the other team fall before pulling them over is also a genius technique. And there are some other tips for winning this game. First off, position an experienced member at the front, but place the member that's the strongest at the end. Since this isn't like the legal competition, you can use the anchor grip where the last person places the rope around his body so he could improve the pulling power. The second illegal strategy you can use is locking. This is where your elbow locks on the sides of your knees while squatting and pulling. This will stop your arms from rocking back and forth. Are you through? Great! Number 3. Gambu. In the fourth game, you have to take all of your opponent's marbles to win the game. If you don't want to be sleazy and manipulative like Sang-woo, then we would suggest another approach. No, not odds or evens, and no, it's not the game player 101 is playing. We're talking about the ancient Chinese game called Nim. Here, you'll combine all of your marbles for a total of 20. You'll then take turns removing 1 or 2 marbles. If they remove 1, you can remove 1. If they remove 2, you can change it and remove 1. Seems simple enough, and it seems like a pure game of chance, but there's actually a strategy that will guarantee your win. How? Well, you have to be the first one to play, and you have to remove 2 marbles. Then whatever they decide to remove, you remove the opposite. If they remove 2, you remove 1. If they remove 1, you remove 2. Math will take care of the rest. Number 2. Stepping Stones. This is one of the games where the contestant that's playing the last usually always wins, so make sure you take the vest with the last number. The first player will almost always lose, so stay away from number 1. That's the opposite of what this player did, and remember, if you're last, you'll have very little time to move across the stepping stones, so you'll have to speed it up. The glassmith has a strategy for telling which glass is real and which is fake, but he takes too long and he told the strategy to everyone, so the front man took advantage of it and turned off the lights. Now, the glassmith couldn't see the reflection, so he took forever to cross. Sang-woo threw him on one of the panels, and he was a goner. Another thing the contestant might have used is to tie one of their shoes to their jacket and use it to swing at each of the panels. The ones that break from the impact will show you how to get through. Number 1. Squid Game. Finally, it was time for the Squid Game, the one game that Ji-hun was a master at. But this time they were given a steak knife. This completely changed the dynamic of the game. This is no longer the Squid Game, this is a game of life and death. Just imagine playing football with shotguns. You're not worried about a touchdown, are you? In this game, okaying offense instead of defense is riskier. The defender only has to stab you, and then it's only a matter of dragging you off the course. The attacker wins only if he gets across the field and steps inside the circular head of the squid. Another advantage is standing near the very end of the game circle. That way, the attacker can't come at you from behind, and you're really close to the sides to push him outside the border. On a related note, how would you try to beat Tug of War? Will you use the same strategy? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.